Hey, I see you there. Guys, gals, everybody, welcome to OG Comics Review. I'm the OG coming to you from Panama City Beach, Florida, living the three-stripe life. Guys, we're going to go over what I got from Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia. It was my first time to Dragon Con, my first time going to Atlanta, Georgia. Guys, I loved Atlanta, Georgia. I would move there in a second. There's a lifestyle there that I liked. Anyway, guys, right off the bat, we're going to jump right into John Romita Jr. As you guys know, as I've said many, many times, I'm a big fan of John Romita Jr. His art style has changed. Maybe his skills have even diminished a little bit. But there was a time I really did enjoy his gritty style. I have some prints here that I'm going to show you. This is all John Romita Jr. right here. This is the Punisher. A very gritty style. Back in these days, he totally embraced what we expected from Frank Castle, the Punisher. A gritty style, very violent. We were all down for this back in the day. Right now, I don't know if Disney, I don't know if the mouse is going to be down for that. What we want John Bernthal, but we want John Bernthal from the Netflix show. And John Bernthal, his Punisher was very violent. That's what we want. Jumping on to number 2, we have another beautiful print signed by John Romita Jr. Just gorgeous artwork. Look at the oversized body, the little head, but look at the gunfare. Look at that. Bam. You done. Frank Castle's whole remedy of justice, or I should say his formula of justice, is that he's not out here to rehabilitate you. He's not here to take you to Arkham Asylum like Batman. He's not here to turn you over to the authorities like Captain America. He's here to cap your ass. You ain't changing, so why bother? Bam! You're gone. Give me a minute here. I'm not prepared. Let's, woo! Another print here, and this is Moussa Mostafa. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I do know his first name is Moussa. Nice young man, met him. This was a print. This is, you guys know me. I love Thanos. Thanos, the Infinity Gauntlet, and Death looking over his shoulder, manipulating him. Like Thanos ever needed any manipulations, but he is in love with Death. Another one. This is the classic love story. Phoenix, Jean Grey, and Scott Summers, Cyclops. The worst possible father ever. We'll get into that later. Beautiful Scarlet Witch print, signed. She is gorgeous. Next I got Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley signed print, Venom and Carnage. I got to tell you something. While Venom and Carnage have legions of fans, I'm not really one of them. I was never really down with Venom or Carnage. Just not my thing. But people love them. I got a trifecta here. This is from writer Gerry Conway. These are iconic covers. Prints, all signed by Gerry Conway. I own the originals. These mean a lot to me. Let me put these in order. Amazing Spider-Man 121, cover by John Romita Sr. John Romita Sr. This is signed by Gerry Conway, the writer of this trifecta. Spider-Man is swooping in. Somebody here is going to die. Normally we get the same cliffhanger all the time. Somebody's going to die, and our hero saves them. Unfortunately, somebody did die. Number 2, issue Amazing Spider-Man 122. One of my all-time favorite covers. In this issue is the death of the Green Goblin for killing Gwen Stacy. Great, masterful cover by John Romita Sr. Amazing Spider-Man 129. Here we are, guys. The introduction of Frank Castle as the Punisher. Great. I have it. I own it. I wouldn't say it's a 9.8, but it's in pretty good condition. Guys, I have 3 prints here by Marcus Williams. I love this guy's art style. He is actually from Atlanta. This is the second time I met him. I met him in at FanFest in New Orleans. Very nice young man. He is African American. You can tell he's not afraid of the curvaceous. Not afraid. That is Storm in all her her curves. Looks fantastic. Just a beautiful print. This guy's never had a major contract with any major publication like Marvel Comics or DC or Image. I mean, he's kind of on his own. Very talented, though. I saw this and I had to have it. T'Challa, Black Panther, Marcus Williams. Just gorgeous lines, gorgeous color. This I had to have. I waited almost a year to be able to get this. This is his female version of Omega Red. It is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. You know, the OG loves him some red. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous print. Great man. I enjoyed talking with him. Man, I would love to see him get a contract with Marvel Comics. God knows that Marvel Comics could use a little bit of an infusion. Right now, and I would have to say, I think the better artists and the better writers are at DC Comics right now. You want to know the real truth? I think Image Comics, Todd McFarlane's Image Comics is knocking everybody out right now. Not him, but the talent that he has. Right here, I have some comic books, some signed comic books that I picked up at Dragon Con. Marcus Williams, signed by him. Sorry about that glare. Just a gorgeous cover. I have not read it yet. This just kind of caught my eye. I don't really know much about it. Have not read about it. It's wrestling themed. La Mano del Destino. Number one, and number 6. Of course, you guys know the OG. The OG loves him some masked wrestlers. Some Silver Age finds. We'll do that last. These are signed. This is Symbiote Spider-Man crossover number 2. This is signed by Peter David. Peter David is the writer. I talked with him a little bit. Very nice man. Mark Bagley, signed. Just gorgeous. Mark Bagley is the artist. Funny thing, I wanted to shake his hand. He didn't want to shake hands. He gave me a fist bump. In this time of age with COVID and everything, that's fine. But let me tell you, this guy right here, John Romita Jr., drawing Colossus and Nimrod, that guy practically spit in his hand and shook my hand. I was very impressed with John Romita Jr. Like I said, unfortunately, he's getting older. His artistic skills are probably on the decline, but man, he was a great guy. I enjoyed talking with him. I'd love to have a drink with that guy. Pretty cool. Anyway, guys, these are the Silver Age keys that I found. Amazing Spider-Man 39. This is done by John Romita Sr., Jr.'s dad, where the Green Goblin captures Peter Parker, unmasks him, unmasks himself, and flies Peter Parker all around on his Goblin glider. Amazing. Nobody else saw that. There were no camera phones back then. Amazing Spider-Man 42 and John Romita Sr. Beauty. That is J. Jonah Jameson's son, John Jameson, who later becomes Man-Wolf. In this very issue, at the end, is the famous panel where Peter Parker's all terrified about this blind date. Boom! There is Mary Jane Watson. Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. And his life ain't never been the same since. This was a replacement copy. Mine had a rip in it. This is Amazing Spider-Man 52. Beautiful John Romita Sr. cover. Here we have, I believe that's Zabu the Tiger, and that is Kazar. Kazar for the Savage Land in New York City. It was a great time, guys. But I will tell you this about Dragon Con. Dragon Con is predominantly for cosplayers. Cosplayers work on their costumes throughout the years. I mean, they do years in advance. Say if something doesn't happen, they will switch it up and be somebody else. But the end goal, it's like, who knows? You may work on a costume to be zombie Doctor Strange. You may work on it for years. I admire them, but the OG's into it for the comics, the toys, the vintage toys, and that. I don't know if I'll be going back to Dragon Con. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, we're going to bring this one to an end. I just wanted to share with you what the OG found at Dragon Con. It was a great time. It was great. I only saw one comic book place. There was probably more. The OG gets FOMO. I get excited and everything. I almost get developing an anxiety where it's like I can't think. I always leave a place with regrets. My regret is that I saw booths for artists that I wanted to get a print signed, meet them. Simon Bisley was one, a big fan, or L in Phoenix, Arizona is a big fan of Simon Bisley. Told me about him. I wanted to meet him. I wanted to get a print, get something signed. Maybe give it to L, not. Another one was Tinny Howard. I wanted to meet her, possibly Fist Pumper or something like that. She is a writer for Marvel Comics. I'll say I don't think she's a very good one, but I did want to meet her. Tom DeFalco. I wanted a print. I wanted something signed by him. I saw their booths. There was a lot of time they were empty because they were off doing they don't call them seminars, but where they sit at panels and they answer questions. Anyway, guys, we're going to bring this one to an end. What I will be sharing with you, you know what, you're going to get a bonus now. I'm going to share something with you. Yes, and I have pants on. This right here, guys, is a major gem, a grail for me, a major find that has finally found its way back into my collection. This is Silver Surfer number 4 from 1969. I had this way back when. We're not going to go into what happened to it, but once again, it is back in my collection. It is Silver Surfer coming down on Thor. A fight that takes place, but guys, this got away from me, and I have regretted it ever since. Finally, it is back in my collection where it belongs. We won't divulge how much I paid for it, but I'm going to tell you, that comic book right there can go for thousands and thousands of dollars. The contacts that the OG has made, I did not pay thousands of dollars. I was very selective. I've been looking for this for a long time. The OG has made contacts, and those contacts came through. Anyway, we're going to see you on the flip side. Make sure you visit your local comic book store. Get into those comics. We'll talk more about the YouTube channel. Peace, love, and so